Do you need an easier way to manage your shopping list? Would you like to share your shopping list with someone else, or even get a reminder when you are near your local grocery store? Well, in this video, I am going to show you how to use Google Keep to create the ultimate shopping list. So to get started, you're going to go to keep.google.com, and if you're on a mobile device, you can download the Keep app. I'm going to be showing you how to do this through the desktop just because it's easier to show off. But all of these features and all of these settings are also available on the app. So to get started, we're going to come up here and take a new note, but not a normal note. We're going to come up here and we're going to select this new list, this checkmark list. Now here, you may be thinking we just need to type in the items we need. For example, I typed in bread and I typed in milk. But before we get too far into our list here, we're going to come up here to the title and we're going to want to give it the name shopping list. And you're going to want to spell shopping right. Now you can also name it grocery list or food list, something like that. So now that you've named it something like shopping list, if you come back down here to the list and start adding in items, let's type in oranges. Google Keep starts giving you suggestions of what you're trying to type. So maybe I'm talking about orange juice, or maybe I'm talking about oranges, just plain oranges. And then I'll move to the next list and I'll start typing in something like pizza. And yes, I want pizza rolls in this situation. Google Keep is going to give you a number of helpful suggestions based off the title of the list that you are making. And that is why we gave it a name such as shopping list. Now I went ahead and added a few more things to my shopping list so that we can start working with the list. But as your list starts to grow, it's going to become more difficult to keep track of what exactly is on the list and to categorize it based off of where in the store you will be shopping at for the items. So how can you break these down into the different sections that you'll be visiting while at the store? Well, one good thing about Google Keep is that you can drag these items over and make sub-items. I'm going to click on milk and I'm going to drag it over and it's going to become a sub-item of bread. I'll do the same for oranges since they're all in the food section of the store. But then toothpaste and toothbrush are going to be together, and I'll make toothbrush a sub-item of toothpaste. And then shampoo can probably go in this category as well, and I'll make it a sub-item as well. And you would do this with the items that you have on your list. And this makes it easier to keep track of what you're doing while you're shopping. And to make things a little easier, I'm going to come up here in front of bread and put my cursor in front of the B and then hit enter, which will move everything down a line. So now I can go back up to that top line and I can put in something like produce or something like conditioner and add it to my toiletries. So not only does this help you keep track of what items you need to get and organize it into different sections, but let's say you didn't want to have your phone out the whole time you were shopping, so you waited to review your list before you check out. So you can look at your list and be like, yes, I got donuts, pizza roll, oranges, milk, bread. So I have everything I need in produce, and it instantly took all those items off of the shopping list and out of your way. And after you do that, you can always go back and be like, oh, I forgot pizza rolls, so I can uncheck pizza rolls, and it'll automatically take pizza rolls and the subcategory pizza rolls and this main category produce back onto your shopping list. And one more thing you can do to help these stand out in Google Keep is that you can add emojis to your list. So let's say you wanted to add something to produce so you can better see it as you're walking through the grocery store. I can come up here to produce, and then I can add something like an apple to the front of it. And then here to toiletries, I can add toothbrush in front of toiletries. And bakery, I can put a donut in front of bakery, and that gives you something extra to help these items stand out. And you can do that to the subheadings too if there's one in particular that you want to stand out, so that all you have to do is glance at your list while you're shopping. And another thing you can do to help organize your list is, let's say that every time you go to the grocery store, you visit the sections in a particular order. So for example, as soon as you pick up your buggy, you may go through the bakery section first before produce. So what you can do is go to the main heading for bakery here, click on it, and you can drag it up here to the top in front of produce. And that way you can go down your shopping list in the order of how you go through the sections of the grocery store. Now you've already seen that by marking items, you can mark them one at a time and they're instantly taken off your main grocery list. Or you can do a whole section at a time, take it off your grocery list, and then if you ever need to put it back, you can just click it again. If you don't like how that works, what you can do is you can come over here and click on the gear icon to go to settings. And under your notes and list, you'll see a checkbox for move checked items to the bottom. For me, it's already checked. For you, it may be unchecked. But to change that, you just click it again to uncheck it. click save. Now when I go back to my grocery list, if I check milk, all it's going to do is it's going to cross out the word milk instead of moving it down to the bottom of the list. So it's whichever option works best for you. Some people may like this option over the other. I personally like that it automatically takes it off the main list for you. So I'm going to go back and reset that. So now if it's selected to move the items to the bottom after they've been checked, as I check things off, they move down here. And I can always just minimize that list to keep it even more compact. And it will still tell me that there's 2 completed items, and then I can go to see what those completed items are and uncheck them to move them back up onto the top if I need to. And it's just really one of those things that's going to come down to your personal preference. Now, one thing that I personally really love about Google Keep being used as a shopping list, let's say that some time has passed since I've last been to the store and I'm getting ready to go to the store again. Well, I tend to be a creature of habit and I tend to get a lot of the same items every time I have to go. So I can come back down to my list and I can either A, uncheck something that I need again and move it back to my list, or if I need to, I can click on these 3 dots for more and then go to uncheck all items, and it will instantly move everything back up in my shopping list for me. Another very useful feature of using Google Keep for a shopping list is that you can collaborate with others on your shopping list or share it with somebody. And to do that, you would come down here to your collaborator option, click on it, and then put in the email address of who you want to share it with, and then click the check mark to add collaborator, and then click save. And so now you'll see that user's icon at the bottom of the shopping list showing that it's being shared with them. So if you have a shopping list that you share with a spouse or maybe a roommate, y'all can both keep track of the shopping list using just the one app. So now even if you close this list, you'll see who you're sharing the list with. This is especially helpful if, say, you've already gone to the grocery store and somebody needs to add an item to it. It's updated in real time. So let's say, for example, that I'm at the grocery store and my roommate made an addition to the shopping list while I'm at the grocery store. See, he added an item to the list while I was at the store and it instantly updated. If at any point in time your roommate starts adding too many items to your shopping list and it starts aggravating you, you can always remove them from the shopping list by clicking on their icon, and it's going to go back to the collaborators menu, and you click on the X beside their name to delete them, and then click save. And then they will no longer have access to the grocery list. Now, some other ways you can make the shopping list stand out if you happen to have a lot of notes in your system. I purposely started a new Google account just so I can show you this, so there's not that many here in mine. But if you have several notes in yours, you can make your shopping list stand out more by changing the background color of it. You can choose several different colored options, or you can choose actual photos. But if you're like me, the food-related backgrounds make it too hard to read what's actually on the grocery list. So I'm going to take that off and just make mine a color because that stands out really good. And another thing you can always do is you can pin the note to the top of the list. So I made a couple of just small notes just so you can see that it pinned the shopping list. It stays above all your other notes. Now, the one feature that I use the most often with my shopping list is the setting a reminder. And I tend to do most of my shopping in the afternoons on my way home from work. So what I typically do is I set a reminder for after work for around 6 p.m. Or what I can do is I can take that off and I can set a location timer and I can set it to the grocery store nearest me. And then now when I'm driving by that grocery store, a reminder is going to pop up on my phone, reminding me of the shopping list that I have here in Google Keep. So it's whatever works best for you in your situation on this grocery list. Now, of course, these are all optional features that you don't have to use. Now that you're aware of them, you can take full advantage of them and make your life simpler and easier. And in my opinion, this makes Google Keep the ultimate shopping list.